Hi, friends. I hope that you've had a nice and enjoyable summer now that it's quickly coming to an end. The summer here in Texas was very hot and dry, so I'm definitely ready and excited for the weather to cool down just a little bit as the holidays and spooky weather start to come around. If you're new here, I'm Jen, a 26-year-old self-employed artist and small business owner. And today I'd like to take you along through my monthly recap where I show you what I was working on during this past month. With the start of every month, the first piece of art that I typically work on is my wallpaper set. Every month with my newsletter, I like to send out a pair of digital wallpapers for free to anybody who subscribes. For August, I wanted my wallpaper to be something that felt like the end of summer, and so I went with a little happy house perched on top of a mountain surrounded with some fluffy clouds. To me, the end of summer feels like the end of the day when the sun sets and the clouds are the prettiest. Here is what the wallpaper looked like for the month of August. Making my wallpaper set, however, was just the beginning of a long, busy month of art making. The biggest project that required most of my artistic attention was my coloring book, and I spent about a week working on the ideas and planning out the pages. I started with very rough sketches just to get the concept and composition down on paper. Next came the more defined digital sketches on my iPad, and during this stage, I worked on more detailed elements, and I was deciding where I wanted the final placements of things before finally moving on to the final line art. And in the last week of August, I worked on the finishing touches like designing the outer and inner covers and just reviewing all the pages for any errors. It felt like a long month and I put a lot of work and energy into this single project, so I'm very excited and happy to have finished it, but I'm also really looking forward to see it come to life very soon. Before the month started, I had planned to work on this coloring book and I knew that I was going to spend quite some time on it. But I think going into next year, I would like to get started on all my fall collection stuff much sooner because I was starting to feel a little rushed, especially when I realized how much time it was taking and how long it would take to get things done and be able to send them off to manufacturers and then get them shipped. I know that I set my own deadlines and it's for me to decide when I work on which projects, but I'm still learning that sometimes I don't always get the timing right. Things come up and new opportunities pop up without warning, so you can't always perfectly prepare for everything. I'm just taking the lessons I'm learning and experiences I gain to hopefully make better decisions for myself and my business in the future. One thing that I really enjoy doing, even more now that I myself am a self-employed artist and small business owner, is to support other artists and small businesses. I know better now than I ever did before about how much time, energy, and dedication goes into running a small business. So when I can, I like to show my support. This month, my friend Natalie, who runs Natalie's Doodle Studio, was hosting a sale on her Etsy shop to celebrate her birthday. So I decided to treat myself to a few stickers and this macrame keychain. I met Natalie through Instagram some months back, and I'm always so happy to make new connections with new people and just start a new friendship of mutual support and encouragement. This month, I also made a very necessary upgrade for my mouse. Until recently, I was using just an old extra mouse that my partner's brother was no longer using. It was a good mouse, and it worked very well. However, it was starting to get really laggy and some of the buttons weren't working, so I decided to get an upgrade. I decided on getting this Logitech Master wireless mouse, and I really love it. It's more ergonomic than the one I had before, and it has a lot of customization options for all the buttons on it, and I just really like that it matches my keyboard. And lastly, this month, I decided that I wanted to change the way I plan and organize my work and all the tasks that I do. For a little more than a year now, I've been using Notion to plan and list out all my to-do lists and priorities every week, and I love it and there's nothing wrong with it and I definitely will continue to use it. However, this month, I kind of went down a rabbit hole of paper planning and I came across the Hobonichi planners. I knew very quickly that I was interested and that I wanted to give it a try since so many people were just raving about it. So for the new year, I decided that I wanted to transition into a hybrid planning system where I will use both my digital Notion planner and a Hobonichi planner. For my first Hobonichi planner, I'm thinking of getting the A6 Hon with the bow and tie Tiny Dragons cover. I was considering getting one of the weekly planners too, but I don't want to overwhelm myself with planners in the beginning. I just want to use my planner as often as possible and preferably daily, so for now I'm sticking to a single, small planner. I'm very excited to start using it, and we'll definitely discuss more planning details later as we get closer to the new year. This month was quite a busy one, and I didn't get a lot of time to do a lot of extra things, so my main favorite thing for the month was my journal. I know I've mentioned it countless times before, but I am really into journaling, and I've been doing it for several years now. It's just the best way for me to relax and ease my mind, especially during busy or stressful times. The past few days, I've been feeling low on energy because I have so much left on my to-do list, and it makes me feel anxious when I feel like I'm not checking tasks off my list fast enough. So when I notice that, I really find it productive to take a moment to journal and just get the thoughts I'm having out on paper. The act of writing helps me slow down my thoughts and find the source of what's causing me these feelings. So journaling is something that I will continue to recommend to anyone who experiences these types of issues. As I've mentioned already, my coloring book has taken up a majority of my time and space in my mind this month. It's what I've been most excited to make, and I'm really proud of the coloring pages I've created. The coloring book will be an 8x10-inch landscape book with 18 full fall and Halloween themed coloring pages. It'll also include a color swatch page and a This Belongs To page where you can put your name. It will be single-sided and be printed on 100-pound paper so that you can use your markers and not worry about any bleed-through. The book is currently available for pre-order on my shop, and as a special treat, I'm including 2 freebie stickers with every purchase. So I will definitely leave a link below if that is something you're interested in checking out. I'll also like to note that shipping to countries outside of the US are very high. For some, it can cost just as much or even more than the price of the book itself. Unfortunately, I do not have any control on the international shipping fees. But once the book is officially out, I plan to release a couple of the pages as digital downloads on my shop to give people a less costly alternative. Heading into September, I have some very exciting new products that I've been working on. I don't want to spoil too much now, but there may be some keychains and washi tapes coming later this year. I will be sharing those designs and details soon, so more to come on that. Aside from even more art making in my near future, I also plan to continue to prepare my inventory. I've mentioned this a few times already in previous videos, but I want to start holding larger quantities of my products going forward so that I can have a much faster and more efficient packing and shipping process. I've been running my shop similarly to a print-on-demand business, but as my business has grown, I find that method no longer suits me. So I'm going to be putting my printer and Cricut to work to make my stickers, prints, and bookmarks. I actually had to replace my printer during the first few days of this month because it just stopped working on me. Luckily, however, I had bought an additional coverage plan for it, so I was able to swap it out for a brand new printer. The only additional cost was $20 for the coverage plan, which is a much better deal than paying a couple of $100s for a brand new one. And with the larger inventory, that also means that I would like to organize my storage system because my inventory was so small before, I could fit almost everything in a single drawer. But I'm starting to outgrow it, so I cleared out 2 more drawers to store my inventory, but it definitely needs some organization. So that is something that I will also be working on soon. And finally, in September, I will be having a spooky fall shop update. The exact date is still to be determined, but I hope to have it around the same time as the release of my coloring book. And that is everything that I've done during the month of August. So if you enjoy this video and want to see more of what I have going on and to hear about my experience, please consider leaving me a like and subscribing. And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next week. Bye!